Excellent. So there we go, that was Stonehenge with a view of Mount St Helens behind it. I took a snap, I'll just show you that now. Impressive looking mountain. And chatting to Alf, we think it is Mount St Helens. Right, got to retrace our route, and reckon it's about 40 miles to our lunch stop, so another push. Right, back on the road. I've got a pretty good view of Mount St Helens now. I hope the GoPro can pick it up. Must say, some much better views off of this route than I thought. I mean, the bridge there, I don't know if you can see that, with Mount St Helens behind the river, it's absolutely epic. Quite a ride for a final day. Now, if that's not a look at that moment, I don't know what is. Look at this, an amazing massive river, a canyon it's carved out, and a chuffing great volcano in the middle of it. What a view. Just wish I was able to get my camera out and snap it. It's amazing. One of the best views of the trip. Stunning. I remember watching a documentary about this volcano some years back, and they knew that it was going to blow back in the 80s because they had obviously seismic measuring equipment, and the side of the mountain bulged out. I think it was something like 4 meters that they measured. It bulged out a few days before it actually blew, and when it did blow, it blew the whole side of the mountain off, and that's why there was loss of life, I think, because of the massive landslide that caused. So we've just pulled over and we've stopped in this little place here, which is actually a Mexican restaurant. It was very good. They had a little cheeky fajita. It was good. But the reason for turning the camera on here is I just wanted to show you this incredible Chevrolet Impala that I parked next to. Look at that. Absolutely incredible beast. I love the paint scheme, the colour scheme. There's something about those wheels. White wheel tyres, silver and gold spokes. Amazing. And I love this bit of work here. Looks almost like foliage down the edge. Superb. And just while I'm talking cars, check out this one next door with the race suspension. These are just hilarious, aren't they? I just don't get this thing, but interesting to see. It's one of these things that jumps around as it goes along the street. Bizarre. Anyway, love it. And took a snap there. Might be able to use that as a thumbnail. Loving the Impala. Right, back on the bike. Final push to Portland. So thank you. This place, I can't remember the name of the town. It's just a little place that we're shooting through, but yeah, there's the little Mexican. Right, let's try and get back in this traffic. Some mighty looking trucks coming down here. I do love me a Kenworth. Look at that. What a lovely vehicle. So thank you to Alf for giving us a little swerve, because we were going to go and eat over here, this place called Eat, and Alf was just, he saw us coming, he leapt out, he was in there, and said don't bother. So don't go to Eat if you're ever passing through here. Go to the Mexican, it's pretty good. Okay, we have got 73 miles to go to Portland. The final leg of this epic trip. What a shame, it's been great. Look at this amazing view through here. I can see snow-capped mountains over there. We've got a snow-capped mountain here, which could be Mount Rainier or something like that, I think. Got people windsurfing down here. It looks, it's a bit like the Pacific Coast Highway if there were mountains on either side. It's absolutely stunning. I had no idea it was this beautiful around here. What a splendid way to spend your Friday afternoon. Look at it. Amazing. What a beautiful place. Okay, we're very shortly going to be crossing over from the north side of the river to the south side to join the main interstate, I think, into Portland. We're going to be crossing over something called the Bridge of the Gods. I expected it to be pretty windy up there, but so that should be quite exciting. It's pretty windy everywhere else. It's actually a toll bridge. It costs $1. So that's the next thing to look out for in a mile's time. What an unexpectedly beautiful part of the world. I don't know why I didn't think it was going to be nice, but it's been absolutely stunning through here. If it hadn't been for that driving wind that had buffeted about for the last 100 miles or so, it would have been one of the best rides of the whole trip. Absolutely amazing. Right, let's not miss the bridge. Bridge of the Gods. Stop ahead, pay toll. Okay, check this out, folks. Getting gear helps. And over the mighty Columbia River. My word. It is very windy up here. I would show you the view, folks, but I'm having to hold on quite tight. It's pretty slippy up here on this horrible surface. Yikes. Not only that, it's pretty tall and high. Anyway, we're nearly over it. Well, let's not stop on it, lads, eh? Come on, lads, keep going. Let's get off this horrible metal bit. Look at that down there. Oh, that's horrible. Do you see down there, Carol?
I'm absolutely frightened.
That's horrible. Yeah, it wasn't good, was it? What fun. Anyway. Right, we're going to cause a big hold up now because it's a $3 toll apparently. And we only had $1 ready, so oops. Oh, $2. Hi. Sorry about this. Right, we're going. Okay, Carol? Thank you. Right, sorry everybody, we held up there. Bit of faffing required when one is on a motorcycle paying a toll. Right, let's just check out how this works then. Well, this is rather splendid, isn't it? So that's the bridge that we just came over. Yeah, that was quite an experience. Right, we're on the interstate into town now, and there's this incredible dam here. It's called the Bonneville Dam to our right. A substantial looking structure. If ever I've seen one. Right, short-lived section on the interstate because we're coming off here. Okay, so we seem to have found ourselves in some sort of national park. It's very beautiful. We just got to stop there. Unfortunately, didn't have the camera on, asking for a permit, but we kind of pleaded ignorance, and she let us through. Anyway, thank goodness for that. It's all very lovely though. She said enjoy the views as you ride through, so we'll certainly do that. A little bit of a respite from the wind down here. Well, this is all very beautiful, isn't it? Look at this. What a lovely way to end our trip. Today's ride has been absolutely stunning. Could have done without the wind buffet, mind, but the views have been off the scale. And a real bonus to see the volcano as well, just incredible. Wow, waterfalls there, check that out.
Wow.
Cool. Incredible waterfall up there to our left. Look at that, amazing. We just stopped at the waterfalls there for a quick comfort break. Carol got chatting to her mates on the Harley Davidson, who we now seem to be in convoy with. Clear left. What a cool place. Both metaphorically and physically, because it's only 74 here, which seems decidedly chilly compared to yesterday, so that's just perfect. Right, next we're looking for a turn in about 3 miles. A little bit more of this park to enjoy first though. Such a shame we're not staying on, because it looks like this is somewhere worth exploring. Those Harleys sure do sound good. I'm not sure which model that is up ahead, but it sounds great when he puts a bit of throttle on. So this was badged as the US 50 Historic, so I guess this is the old highway before they built the fancy pants one that goes alongside the river. I can see why they built the new one. You can imagine some of those trucks around here. No, I don't think so. Feels more like a European road. Looks like we got some pretty cheeky hairpins coming up. Gained a bit of height in those hairpins. An amazing view. Oh, check this out for a spot. We've just gone up that windy road, a few hairpins, gained a bit of altitude to this amazing lookout point. It's got this building at the top called Vista House. We're just having a quick coffee in here. Well, let me just show you around. This is the coffee place. Or Vista House, I should say. Let me show you the views here. They're just stunning. So this is looking out to the west. That's towards Portland. And then the views down the Columbia River to the east, I'll show you those as well. Just stunning down the valley. Check this out. Pretty cool, huh? Right, back to the coffee. Well, what a cool little lookout spot that was. And a much needed coffee. Maybe the first decent coffee of the day, I think. Anyway. Right, onwards, 23 miles to our hotel. Let's see if we can find it in the metropolis that is Portland. Oh, just 18 miles of our tour left. Can you believe it? We've done 3,600 miles in the last 3 weeks. Just a heck of a ride. It's been brilliant. It seems a long time ago since we were in Anchorage and crossing the Yukon. It's been brilliant. We're going to be bereft next week when we're back at home doing the washing up. We have to go through the withdrawal phase. Very annoying. Anyway, we've got 18 miles more to enjoy. Alright, so our last bit of twist is before we join the interstate to head towards Portland. And what a lovely area this is. I didn't really have any preconceived thoughts about what Portland might be like, but I didn't think it was going to be like this. It's just a beautiful area. Well worth a visit in its own right. We definitely need to come back because we haven't done Seattle or Vancouver Island, so we need to do that in the near future. But this has been a great taste, and we've been so lucky with the weather. I think we were rained on that one day, but that's been it. That makes such a difference to your enjoyment of a tour as well, doesn't it, if the weather's good. So a little dalliance with the interstate. Friday afternoon on the I-84, eh? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Oregon is one of those states where you're not allowed to filter, so I've got no choice but to sit in the traffic, which is a bit of a shame because there's a big gap up there I'd easily blast down if I was at home. But I don't think we'll be breaking the traffic rules in town. Is that the same Salem as Salem's Lot, I wonder? I don't know. Perhaps you can let me know in the comments. David Soul, I think, was in that film, wasn't he? Whatever happened to him? Slow progress. Lodging next right, I think that's us. We're in the Radisson. Right, well I'm going to drop Carol off at the hotel with our stuff at the panniers. I'm going to drop the bike back at the dealers, and then I'm coming back to the hotel. So we'll see you back at the hotel for a little summing up. Here we are, home sweet home. Right, speak to you shortly. So welcome to the Radisson Hotel here at Portland Airport. We've checked ourselves in. We won't show the room because it's a bog standard airport room, and frankly it looks like a bomb's hit it because we've spread our stuff all around. We're packing, ready to go. Sadly we've got to get the aeroplane tomorrow. So that's it for our tour. It's been epic, isn't it?
I can't quite believe I've done it actually.
Amazing.
Let alone you've ridden it, me on the back.
Incredible, 3,600 miles or thereabouts. The longest ride I've ever done. It's 3 weeks basically we've been away from home, haven't we?
Yes.
I think we've done, what, 19 days of riding or something like that?
I think 16 days riding.
And it's been quite, well, I guess the word's arduous, isn't it? I mean, amazing,
yes.
But it's been quite tough, isn't it? It's not for the faint-hearted. There's a lot of riding, but really great fun. Before we came, I was a bit worried about my shoulders. I've talked about that on the video before. That's actually turned out fine. You were a bit worried about going on the GS for such distance, weren't you?
Yeah, just being on the back for so long, not being able to, you know, you can't move around, being sedentary for 3 weeks almost on the back of a bike.
But also compared to going on the Goldwing, which you used to.
Yeah, I haven't been on the back of the GS for so long.
But how did you find it?
It was okay actually. I was remarkably surprised how I got on with it. And how you learn to adapt. It's a bit higher getting on and off, so I tend to get on first, don't I, frequently.
So we're thinking that we might do a few tours on ours now.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes. And then what was the highlight for you of the tour?
Oh, obviously,
if you could select one.
Obviously I'm going to say there are many.
Thought you were going to say riding with me, but go on, Karen.
Seeing the bear catch salmon at Stewart was quite incredible because you turn up, and if the bear comes along and starts catching salmon, yeah, you know, you're lucky. So that was incredible. I mean, riding through the Yukon and how vast it was, how big, was just mind blowing.
Yeah,
and I'm sure, I don't know if that will actually come across on the video.
Yeah.
Just, you know, riding through the Rockies. I really enjoyed head smashed in buffalo jump. Just the plains and the prairies, completely different landscapes. I think everything keeps changing as it has today. It was a much more interesting ride this last day than we thought. Unbelievable scenery. Yeah,
for me, the helicopter trip was amazing. Can't remember where that was, but that was Stewart. Yeah, that was going up over the glaciers was just incredible. Again, like you, just the vastness of Alaska and the Yukon was incredible.
Idaho.
In fact, all of it was amazing.
Every day is amazing in its own right. And for me, swimming in lakes.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Was just brilliant. I mean, we didn't go in for long, but we.
And the other thing that's been great is this group has been fantastic. So thank you for everybody, all our new riding buddies that came along, because it's been great in that we've been able to socialise in the evening, but during the day we've basically ridden on our own, haven't we? So it's been best of both worlds.
Or we've caught up with people, we've had a coffee with them, a bite to eat, and then you've ridden off at the same time.
And having the first time we've ever ridden with a support vehicle, that I know sounds a bit namby-pamby, but I have to say it does give you a great sense of security, doesn't it?
Well,
There's somebody there to sweep you up.
Yeah.
Shame that Mark got ill, so best wishes to Mark. But Nigel bravely stepped in, and there's always been someone looking out for us if the day's been a long one. You're not going to be left out there. There's always someone wondering where you are. So that's fantastic, wasn't it? So that was absolutely brilliant.
As was Alf. We have to say a huge thanks to Alf, who's been incredible.
He's been throwing so many curveballs on this trip that I haven't talked about particularly, but he's just done everything with a smile on his face. So thank you, Alf. You've been brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you to Motorrad Tours for inviting us along. It's been fantastic. And if you're interested in doing a tour like this, then stick around to the very end of the video after the credits, because we'll do a little bit when we get home, once we know, to talk about how much the whole thing costs us. Flights, food, petrol, all that sort of thing, and the tour itself. So if you're interested in that, stick around to the very end of this video. We'll go through that. But for now, we'll just leave you with a few of our memories from this trip, and we'll be doing another trip soon, won't we?
Yes.
And we look forward to seeing you then. Until next time, though, this has been Mr. and Mrs. Missenden Flyer. Oh, I normally say cheerio then. Cheerio.
You still can't get it right.
Aha! Thank you for sticking around to the bitter end of the video. We promised you some details of cost. We're back here obviously in Blighty in a very drafty, cold garage in November, which seems a million miles away now, doesn't it? From Alaska and the Yukon. Anyway, so to cost then, what do we need to cover off?
The cost of the tour itself.
Yep. So that, look at Motorrad Tours website for details. I'll put a link below to that. But for how we did it, it varies depending on how you do the tour. But if there's two of you going, sharing one GS, it's around about 10 grand. That was the cost of the tour we did. What else?
Okay, flights. We book late, 4 weeks in advance, premium economy, 3,831. So a bit high. You can get that down if you book well in advance, like other people did. They got business class for a lot less than us.
Yeah, so
flights
we paid the price
now
there
for 2023. So if you're interested, check the prices now.
All right, so that's flights.
Fuel, about £300. Fuel is less expensive over there than over here, so it was a lot less than we thought, but still.
Yeah, still significant, yeah. What else do we need to consider?
Food, all breakfasts were included. Obviously, sometimes we didn't eat lunch, so we aren't including food because we all eat differently.
Yeah, and you'd have to eat if you were here anyway, so there we go. So overall then, you're looking at 10 grand for the tour, 4 we paid for the flights, 300 for fuel. If you budget for 15 grand, you'll get it well, you know, you're well covered then. Lots of people say it's a very expensive tour. Yes, it is. It's the price of a bike, but, you know, is it worth it? I mean, let's face it, the stuff you get compared to if you did a tour yourself. You organise our tours. How hard is that?
It is. I'd have had to organise it all. I don't know the routes. We've got all the routes, all the bookings, some evening meals, all the breakfasts, all the support vehicle if anything went wrong, all the companionship, the
tour
laughter,
guide.
The tour guide.
New friends.
Yeah.
So
unbelievable.
For me, I think it's definitely worth the money. These are sort of once in a lifetime trips that you remember forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, expensive, but absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much indeed for watching the tour. Thanks to Motorrad Tours for asking us along. Yeah, that's it. We'll be along on another tour soon, won't we?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you then.